A greeting, welcome to our presentation. We are Group 8. Our presentation is based on an interview with a Chinese expatriate currently working in the El Salvador. Through her experience, we will explore how foreigner professionals adapt to a new culture, overcome workplace challenges, and successful work in the different country. Okay, now let's start it. This present is based on an interview with Miss Carol Liu, who is my cousin. Yeah, a Chinese researcher and lecturer who is currently serving as a senior international trade expert in El Salvador. She was appointed through the Overseas Assistance Project supported by the Ministry of the Commerce of China. During her assignment, she worked closely with government agencies, educational institutions, and local communities. Through her experience, we can better understand the real reality of expatriate life, including cultural adaptation, workplace communication, and building relationship in the host country. Ms. Liu previously worked as a researcher and lecturer in the Nanning, Guangxi, China, and has experience in the international education. She was selected to join a Chinese overseas assistance project and was signed to work in the El Salvador and as a senior international trade expert. Her main responsibility include cooperating with government departments, educational institutions, and local business. Through her work, he promotes vocational education cooperation, support digital trade development, and help strengthen economic cooperation between China and El Salvador. Her experience demonstrates how professional expertise and cross-cultural communication skills are essential for the expatriate working abroad.
When she first arrived in El Salvador, she faced many common troubles for foreign workers. The biggest difficulty was the language barrier, as Spanish in the local official language. Besides, she had to spend time getting familiar with the new local tradition, social structures, and different work styles. As time went by, she took every chance to communicate with the local officials, school staff, and communicate residents. Gradually, locals no longer treated her as outside, but a reliable partner of cross-country exchange. This living and work experience greatly improved her personal and professional abilities. She mastered cross-cultural communication and problem-solving skills. She learns to view cultural gaps with tolerance and openness, and find ways to cooperate based on mutual understanding. She also gained wide global visa after this overseas assignment.
In this section, I will discuss some cultural differences between China and El Salvador based on Ms. Liu's expatriate experience. First, there are differences in work culture. In China, people generally focus on efficiency, performance, and achieving goals. In El Salvador, building trust and maintaining good relationships are often considered more important before cooperation begins. There are also differences in communication style. Chinese professionals usually prefer clear and direct communication. However, Salvadorans often communicate more indirectly. Instead of saying no directly, they may use expressions such as "let's see" or "maybe later." These differences can sometimes create misunderstanding, especially for expatriates who are unfamiliar with the local culture. These differences can be explained using post-high context communication theory. El Salvador is a high context culture, where communication relies heavily on relationships and context. People often avoid direct disagreement to maintain harmony. Although China is also considered a high context culture, communication in professional settings is usually more direct and task-focused. Because of this, Chinese expatriates may find Salvadoran communication difficult to interpret at first. The key reason is that the cultural intelligence is important for successful international business. Understanding local communication styles can help expatriates upgrade his understanding and build better working relationships.
Alright, for this page, I will talk about organizational support. When Ms. Liu worked in Salvador, she faced some difficulties. The biggest problem was language, because people there mainly speak Spanish, so her organization provided a professional interpreter. This helped her communicate with local people and do her work better. The organization also provided insurance, living assistance, and safe accommodation. This support helped her feel safer and more comfortable in the host country. So organizational support is very important for expatriates. It can reduce stress, improve communication, and help them perform better at work. From this case, we can see that organizations should give enough support to expatriates before and during overseas work. So next page. For this page, I will talk about interaction with the local community. According to Ms. Liu, local people in El Salvador were friendly and welcoming. They are also curious about foreign cultures and proud of their own country. In daily life, local people often asked her simple questions, such as, "Where are you from? Have you tried pupusa? And can we take a photo?" Then these questions may look simple, but they helped Miss Liu communicate with locals. They also helped her understand Salvadoran culture better. Good relationships with local people are very important. They can reduce loneliness and help expatriates adapt faster. So, expatriate adjustment is not only about work, it also depends on friendly communication with local people. Alright, that's all of my part. Thank you.
First, let us compare to the cost of living and life well-being between El Salvador and China. El Salvador's economy highly relies on the imported goods, and it used the US dollar as its official currency, which led to the relatively high local living expense. By contrast, the China owns a complete and strong industrial supply chain. People here enjoy easier access to daily products and public service, together with a more stable and competitive job market. In terms of life quality, the El Salvador gains the advantages is close to community building and social relationships. Meanwhile, China holds stronger overall economic strengths to support the residents' well-being. In conclusion, the national well-being is jointly decided by both social atmosphere and macroeconomic conditions. Next, we will summarize the four core lessons from this cross-country international cooperation research. The first, the cultural adaptation is essential. The overseas expatriates must respect and fit into local culture, custom, and social rules. The second, effective the cross-cultural communication can greatly reduce the misunderstanding and the conflicts between different nations. And third, the sufficient organization support will make overseas work and live adjustment much smoother and more efficient. Last but not least, the mutual trust and respect build the solid foundations for long-term stable global and international cooperation.
In the conclusion, Carol Liu's experience showed that successful expenditure adjustment requires more professional skills by adapting to the local culture, building strong relationship, and maintaining effective communication. She was able to integrate successful into the host country. Her journey highlights the importance of the cultural awareness, flexibility, and mutual understanding in achieving success in an international environment. Okay, that's all of our presentation. Thank you very much.